It is Valentine's Day, so let's look at the ancient Greek god of love, Eros, and his Roman counterpart, Cupid. Clearly, I'm single given this is what I'm spending my day doing. The poet Hesiod, in his Theogony, written in the 8th century BCE, writes that at the very beginning of time, before Zeus, before Olympus, before even the structured universe, Eros emerges as a primordial deity. He describes Eros as the most handsome among the immortal gods, the dissolver of flesh, who overcomes the reason and purpose in the breasts of all gods and all men. This primordial Eros appears as one of the first gods to spur on creation alongside Chaos, Gaia, and Tartarus. Not to confuse you too much, but you can then think of a second Eros. Hesiod later describes Eros and Emeros, desire, as emerging from the sea foam with the goddess Aphrodite. Some classical writers interpret this to mean that the pair were born alongside or immediately after her. You may be able to recognize this scene in some ancient art where the young gods flutter around the goddess. Over time you can see various interpretations of Eros, or later called Cupid, but that initial primordial force that lights the flames of love in gods and men alike remains pretty consistent. I am literally being blinded while filming this. For the philosopher Parmenides, Eros appears at the very beginning of structured reality as a kind of structuring impulse. In Plato's Symposium, Eros becomes metaphysical, so representative of the longing that drives the soul from physical attraction to contemplation of divine beauty. By the later classical period, he is increasingly depicted as the son of Aphrodite. This is seen, for example, in the work Argonautica by Apollonius of Rhodes, where he is mischievous and depicted as winged. In the even later Hellenistic era, artists were carving out a softer, more intimate Eros, sometimes playful and sometimes vulnerable. You can see one of these versions in Sleeping Eros at the Met Museum. It's when Rome inherits him that he becomes Cupid, that winged, cherub-like figure that you would see on Valentine's Day cards. So before I get completely blinded, tell me, which god of love do you prefer? The primordial force of Eros, Eros the son of Aphrodite, or perhaps Cupid, the Roman version?